Hi everyone, my name is Kajal and in this video we'll be talking about how beans are getting created at the backend. This is the code for creating a bucket, and inside this bucket all the beans will be present. For bean creation I'm using this XML format where I've defined two beans, one for the student class and one for the address class. In the student class I have name, address, ID. Inside this default constructor I have printed one statement. For all the setter methods I have added one println statement, so that you can understand what is exactly going on internally. Similarly, in address class, I have the default constructor with one message. Also, I have the println statements for all the setters. I'll try to run this. For bean creation, Spring is going into this XML. On line number 8, a bean has been created with the help of default constructor. For example, let's say you want to create an object of student class. Then you will be doing student equals to new student, right? And then you can call student dot set name. So similarly, Spring is also creating beans like this. Spring does not use parameterized constructor internally. That's why default constructor is mandatory whenever you are going to create a bean. The bean is getting created by the help of default constructor. So there is no difference between object creation and bean creation. The only difference is objects are maintained by us, but beans are maintained by Spring. Student default constructor has been called, but then Spring realized that student class bean is dependent upon address class bean. So at that time, instead of going forward for the student class setters method, Spring started creating a bean of address class. That's why you can see this default constructor of address, and after that it is trying to set all the parameters inside the address class. So that's why all the setter methods are getting called. Like you create an object by default constructor. Similarly, Spring will also create a bean by default constructor, and then after it will call all the setters method one by one. You can see after the bean has been created for address, the setters of student has been going on, and at the end you can see all the things, the dependencies has been resolved by the Spring. If I'll pick this bean and I'll put it here onto this bean, then what will happen? And now you will see the bean of address has been created. The default constructor of bean address has been created, and after that all the setters are getting called. Because the address class is not dependent upon any other class, the complete bean has been created first, and then after student has been created, and because address bean is already present, setter methods of student are getting called. Thank you for watching.